So, as you all can know from the one or two videos I've already put up, yes, I got access to Marvel's Rivals Early Beta. I know, it's pretty sick. I thoroughly enjoy it, but this has begged a lot of questions where is it actually good compared to other games like Overwatch or Valorant, which I commonly play on the channel? As most of you know, Marvel's Rivals is a 6v6 Overwatch, but with a heavy Marvel twist on it. Content creators who have been approached by NetEase, who were also pros or heavy Overwatch players, have obviously jumped over a little bit and are now playing the game. But they're saying that it's obviously a lot better than Overwatch in that sense because it's new to them. I wouldn't be surprised if they're also partly being paid off too, but that's just a me thing. I'm not a part of the content creator program, nor am I actually affiliated with them in any way. So here's my absolute unbiased opinion of the game and what it is so far. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you got early access to it, if you didn't get early access to it, if you want to see more content on it, and if you want to see different types of things on it. So starting off, let's get one thing out of the way. It's a 6v6 shooter. Overwatch 1 was originally a 6v6, and then Overwatch 2 is now 5v5. So, and we'll take away the aspects of it's a team-based shooter game, because then we can just get into the argument of, well, Overwatch was the exact same as Team Fortress, but with abilities. So I think from that point of view, in this whole argument or dialogue, we're going to remove the idea that it's a complete copy and paste, because let's be real, so many things have been done and created now where everything you do will be seen as a copy and paste realistically, or as a re-release, or as a reskin. So keep that in mind before we get into it. The characters are obviously unique. Like, they all follow the Marvel characters. And yes, like I just said, there isn't a few copies and pastes of characters. There are some which are just absolute reskins. When you look at Scarlet Witch and Moira, that's one of the biggest ones I found. Scarlet Witch is like Moira in the sense of she has the grasp, which basically deals damage. She doesn't have heal though, that's the only thing, but she can also fly, and then her ultimate is a nuke. So there are similarities with that. I feel like with Scarlet Witch, though, they could have just given her projectile spell casting. That's my initial thing with it, is there's just a little, at points, have gotten a little bit slack and sloppy, and they've kind of just copied and pasted. For characters like Punisher, where he's a soldier, you can't really say, oh, it's a copy of Soldier 76. Well, yeah, because they're both military characters. Like, duh. It's nothing new there. Like, anyone can be a military character. So the agents themselves are actually somewhat unique, though. They all have some abilities from Overwatch. They're all put together differently. So Rocket Raccoon has a machine gun, and then he's got the heal orbs from Baptiste. He also has a field which revives players, which is similar to the immortality field, but very different. But he can also climb, because he's a raccoon. It's very simple like that. So the characters themselves are somewhat different, but similar, if that makes sense. And the skill transfer is very easy. So if you're good at Baptiste, you'll be really good at Rocket Raccoon. The only difference is he has a machine gun and Baptiste has got a burst rifle. Only difference. The team up abilities are unique. That's a new feature that I don't think Overwatch has. So if you're Rocket Raccoon, you can jump on Groot and you can just run around, which is awesome. If you're playing Adam Warlock, if you're playing Mantis, and if you're playing Star-Lord, all those three can get revived if they die, because there's a team-up ability there. Magneto and Scarlet Witch, Magneto gets an ability where he gets a metal sword that he can fling around for a little bit. That's cool. That's unique. And it inspires synergy and different team building, which is good when it comes down to trying to get and building different comps. It makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot cooler, and if you're playing with your friends or a group of friends, then you guys can say, "Oh, who do you want to play? Oh, we can do this, and we can make this cool team up," which is really cool. I think it's really enjoyable from that point of view. It's very much they're trying to make it a very bring your friends along, and you can all play together than just queue comp or queue solo. They try to make it very team orientated. And even if you are solo queuing, if you go in agent, you can request someone else to go a different agent so you can get the team up, which is awesome. So from that point, it still promotes collaboration and synergy. The skins too are pretty alright. Like while a few of them are, you know, NetEase skins that they've made, a lot of them are inspired by comics, and it will tell you if they're inspired by comics or where they came from or what they first appeared in, which I think is really cool. Obviously, Marvel is a massive universe. There is a lot to pull from. It's going to be very hard for them to be like, oh, we're running out of ideas for skins. It's like, yeah, really? Obviously, they can't just add every Spider Man. They already have Penny Parker and they have Venom and they have Spider Man in. At worst, I want to see them add Miles Morales, and the only difference I want Miles to be is his primary is a Venom punch, so he's more of a melee character than he is for an absolute web slinger. And I think from there they shouldn't add any more. If not, they trade it out for Spider Man 2099, whoever Miguel O'Harris is. I can't remember off the top of my head, which is bad for me because I'm a massive Marvel fan, so I'm sorry, guys. If anything, to be honest, I would prefer if they removed Penny Parker. She's kind of broken and jank. I don't really think she's more of a Spider Man. Like, yeah, cool, you have a suit that shoots webs, but my tangent, we'll get into that later. So, but yeah, they have an abundance of characters they can pull from. It is kind of weird though because you have Doctor Strange as a tank, which I get, he has a shield, but they make him massive in this. Like he's like some absolute buff dude, which I think is interesting. Obviously, you have the likes of Venom and you'll have the likes of Hulk as tanks, which is expected. Punisher's not a tank. Punisher's a DPS, which I could kind of get behind, but when you saw some of his abilities of being in a turret, having machine guns and shoulder cannons as his ult, you kind of think that that would be a little bit more of a tank, but that's just me. Alright, we'll get into the maps. So there's obviously only 4 maps right now. There's 2 Asgard maps and then there's 2 Tokyo 2029 maps. No, 2099 maps. There we go. They're a little bit busted. Obviously, like I said, you can't have something new. It's payload or capture the hill. There's, to be fair, that is realistically the only thing you can kind of do in these team games. That's somewhat what Valorant is. Valorant is pretty much of capture site and plant bomb and hold it until bomb detonates, or if you're defending, capture site, retake, and defuse bomb. That's pretty much it. You fight for one thing. From that point, yeah, it's similar. The 2 maps though, they can get really boring really quickly. I will say that they can at points get really boring. Finding health packs is very hard too. You don't always know where the health packs are, and they are at points in the most out of pocket places. Like they are completely off from anywhere else, which is like, yeah, if you're trying to run and hide, obviously you're gonna go to the corners. But if you're mid fight and your heal is a dead, it's like, yeah, thanks. Now we're gonna go all the way out and get healed. So the destructibility feature is alright. So if you can destroy some walls, which I think is cool because if you have characters like Spider Man, like Rocket, like Venom, who can climb walls, I think it's very cool because it stops them from climbing it and it makes it as if it was an actual battle. However, in one of the Tokyo maps, I think it's Shibuya, you can destroy an entire first level of a building and it completely fucks the map. Like, it completely does, because you have an entire building drop on you, but because of how the lore of the map is, it then gets strung back up. So when it gets strung back up, it kind of jiggles up and down a little bit, but it jumps up and down and it makes it really hard to play the game. Obviously, having a few holes in the wall like you do in R6, that's different because it's like, oh yeah, well, you're shooting. That's obviously the point. But I feel like if you were to destroy a whole building, like the first level, it kind of makes it really redundant because then it's just, oh, now you're just aimlessly shooting at a wall. So I don't think it promotes healthy accuracy. I think from that stance, it kind of is just like, yeah, shoot and destroy everything, which is cool if no one's coming. But on the same token, you kind of like, yeah, and then the map gets really clunky too. That's actually the other part. That's what I'm gonna lead into. It makes the map so fucking cluttered with all the destruction shit. Because you can destroy like chandeliers on the roof or whatever, especially on the Asgard maps. If you destroy that, it will just drop in the center of the point. It is so hard to try and jump up and climb over. It is really hard, especially if you're Rocket or Spider-Man, because it doesn't register it to be high enough for you to climb over, but it also doesn't register to be low enough for you to jump on unless you're on a certain angle. So from that, I think it's really bad. If it's Obviously, if it falls from height, it should be able to shatter into smaller pieces. Do no damage, but shatter into smaller pieces, which would be a lot better. It will make it more realistic. However, when it drops, it just drops as a giant chunk. And it's like, yeah, these are like 10, 15 meter drops. I don't think it's dropping in one chunk, even if it splits in half. But it's alright because when it drops, it does create more cover. So there's the win-loss. The map designs are cool. I do like how unique they are. However, it's just there's only 4 of them, and they get really boring really quickly. The next point I want to go into, they only have 4 servers. I get this game is in beta, and I understand the game's in beta. But on the same token, you cannot have 4. 3 of the servers are in America. Like, that's the thing. 3 of them are in America, and you have 1 in Tokyo. It is really bad. So when I'm playing from OCE, I'm getting like 120 to 200, 300 ping, which is really bad. And then you have people in other countries who are a little bit closer to Japan, they're getting like 90 ping. To be fair, 100 ping is not that bad in game. Like, I know everyone's going to be like, oh, but 100 ping. In Valorant, it's terrible. Valorant, if you're above 50, it's terrible. But in Marvel's Rivals, it's actually not that bad. The game is still very playable. It's just when it gets to 300 is when it becomes a little unpolished and unplayable. I just wish there were more Sydney servers. One of the other points I wanted to get into was the tournament aspects and the competitive side. The competitive side is very cool. It does follow Valorant, where you start at rank 1 and you go through to 1 to 2 to 3. So there's bronze, silver, there's gold, there's plat, there's diamond. Then there's a few other ones, but the ultimate rank is the one above all, which I think is very cool, and it's in the shape of Galactus' helmet, which I think is very cool. Galactus is meant to be the super strong bad guy. I think it's really cool how they've done it like that. And then the one above all sounds like a Marvel title that you'll give to a powerful being or powerful character in the universe. I think that's very cool. My grievance with it is that there is a tournament feature, and the tournament feature is in the grievance, but you have to be in a team. And you can join teams like you do in Clash of Clans in the game, which I think is a little stupid. And the thing is if you have a team, obviously you need 6 players to play the game. But then you can have teams go up to the size of 12. So then there's like 2 teams in a big clan, if you will. I could get having like 3 or having 9, a sub for each or a couple of subs. But having 12 is kind of ridiculous too. And it's not laid out properly. It looks really jank, if that makes sense. But it doesn't look the best. It looks really bizarre. It looks really weird. It looks unpolished. And it just looks like something that's thrown together. Oh yeah, that looks unique. So I disagree with that in the sense I think they should keep, if they're going to have teams, obviously have good teams, but have it as something, I guess, as an invite code that you can make, but it's just hidden and you need the specific code where, say, if you're on Discord and you find a team on Discord and they invite you, you can jump into their team instead of just applying. Because how it works is if there's a team already made or a faction already made, if you will, you have to click the apply button and then you have to give a little script as if you would in Clash of Clans or Clash Royale to joining a clan. You have to give a resume, which is really bizarre. There's also rank qualifications. So if you fall below X amount of rank, then we do not want you in the clan. I find that to be a little weird and a little bit disheartening. And I get it, oh, but you only want the best in your clan. Then why have the whole premise of a clan or the teams there? Because the thing is if you're making a team, especially in pro play, that team would have already possibly been formed outside of the game. Like, it would have already been formed by an organization sourcing players and then bringing them in. It wouldn't have been sourced of, oh yeah, that guy looks good in the game. Yeah, we'll invite him. That's a very pie in the sky idea of how to put it. But again, that's my absolute hot take on it. Hate it, love it, doesn't matter, but that's my take. If you disagree with it, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, one thing I will admit that I do enjoy, I enjoy how even though it's a closed beta, they're going to wipe all your progress. So it's not like you're jumping into the start when it releases and it's like, hey guys, look at all the cool skins I have. Obviously, you'll get Venom. Obviously, you'll get something else if you reach gold. That's fine because it's 2 items and it does show, hey, I was here and I was fortunate enough to get access to the closed beta. That's fine. I think that's all well and good. If anything, I think that's pretty positive. But yeah, I do enjoy how they're going to remove and wipe or the like all your progress and stuff. So okay, now we'll somewhat compare it to Valorant. It's obviously a lot fresher. Okay, I've been playing Valorant for like 4 years, and a lot of people have been playing Valorant for a long time, who would have jumped over to this. It's a lot newer, which is what I enjoy. Who knows? Maybe in like 2 months, I'll be like, yeah, this is ass, and I'm going back to Valorant. Who knows? But it's a good refresher now. It being third person is a little bit better. I enjoy it to be somewhat third person, but I don't mind it to be first person. It's just a lot going on. There's just an absolute lot going on. It's very hard to see things at points when you have each character who has their own unique color palette that's attached to their weapons, flinging and swinging everything around too. It also can be a lot with all the summons that you have in. So Namor can summon Octopus and Octopi, sorry, and Rocket can summon different like healing pads and whatnot. That can get really hard. Or Loki too. Loki can also summon different people or like different mannequins of himself, and it's like yeah, there's a lot going on. There can be an absolute lot going on. So I think from that point they should nerf it, as it's you kind of hear like, yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? This is really bad. So final evaluation. Do I think it's better than Valorant? I don't know yet. It's just a little bit fresher. They're obviously different, but it's just a little bit fresher. I enjoy how I don't get one tapped every fucking 2 seconds, but if it's from Hella, there's no real flash, and instead there's just stuns, which I think is a lot better too. But yet again, that's just me possibly sulking because that's all we get in Valorant. Is it better than Overwatch? I would say partly because Overwatch is a little bit old and they just keep reinventing the wheel within the sense of, oh, same game modes. It's summer games. Here you'll get Lucio Ball. Like from that point of view, I think it's better because this has potential to go somewhere and it challenges Overwatch, where Overwatch either A needs to adapt and make more content so people will go back to it, or Marvel Rivals kills Overwatch because Overwatch just couldn't compete anymore and they decided to let the game die, which I think is actually pretty healthy. It either promotes a game or it kills something. Both games probably can't coexist. It'll be very hard for them to, at least with the player base. While the skills would be transferable, someone will ultimately find one that they prefer, whether they just enjoy Marvel a lot more or if they just prefer the OG. I think from that point though, Marvel's Rivals would be able to kill off Overwatch if Overwatch cannot compete with Marvel's Rivals and what they are doing. So thanks for watching. If you do enjoy my video, please like, comment, and subscribe as usual. If you want any more content or if you guys want to see anything new here, let me know. I have access to the game till about second week of August, so which is pretty cool. But yeah, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye.